What's good, y'all? This your country cousin, Pete McCorvey, a.k.a. Peter Mac. Hey, man, get on up here, man. Kick your shoes off, pull you up one, and light you up one. You on the porch now. It's Pete McCorvey's Porch Talk. Let's do this. Yo, what's good, fam? This your country cousin Pete McCorvey, aka Peter Mac. I'm back. I know, short turnaround, man. Yeah, I just couldn't get off the porch. It's a lot of stuff I wanted to talk to y'all about. I didn't want to sit there and just how you lose your buzz while we was on the porch. So I had to step in the house right quick, but I had to come back. There's a lot of stuff that happened this past weekend, this past week in general, that we need to still kick it about. So, sit down, roll up one, pour up a drink. We finna get back to business. First of all, it's college football season right now, and a lot of people getting exposed. Like the national champs got exposed yesterday against Texas. Texas beat them 31-12. So yeah, Texas, they coming, man. They last year they knocked off Alabama. This year they knocked off the defending champs. So it's looking like maybe that sign's still a incident that Michigan had. Maybe that it's getting exposed now. And Colorado, they really getting exposed. I called it was gonna happen. Colorado not only lost, but they lost to all teams. Nebraska. That's right. The Nebraska Cornhuskers beat the Colorado Buffaloes, led by our favorite coach, Coach Prime, 28-10. Now it's, oh my goodness, Nebraska ain't been hitting since the 90s. So they not ranked, of course. So to get beat by Nebraska Cornhuskers, oh my goodness, that is saying something. So, but I did look at the box score from the game. Colorado did manage to shut them out in the second half. They didn't allow them to score any in the second half, but they had already given up 2 touchdowns apiece in both the first and second quarter, respectively. So, Coach Prime, we're gonna have to find out. We're gonna have to figure out something, bro, because this ain't gonna get it, dog. Shador, Travis Hunter, y'all boys gotta come with it, man. We counting, Black America counting on y'all. I don't know about everybody else, but I can definitely tell you Black America counting on y'all. So a lot of things have happened. I actually woke up this morning and I added this to what I need to talk to y'all about, fam. So come to find out, it's looking like the brat and her wife Judy are divorcing over a disagreement they had over the child, the baby that they had. Okay, so these folks, I'm not gonna lie, the brat's whole pregnancy with this baby, just from start to finish, my head hurt. It's hurting. It was hurting when I first found out about it. My head's hurting now, and it's just, the one thing that I always was kind of scratching my head about the brat having this baby with her wife. From the first time we heard about it last year, the first reason why I shook my head about this whole situation was because the brat is in her late 40s and she's carrying a baby. There are complications that come with having a baby if you're over the age of 35. Not saying it can't be done, people do it all the time, but it's just you run a higher risk of things going wrong when you have a baby over the age of 35. And so something could happen to you because your body is not in its prime to be able to withstand childbirth, or the baby could come out something could happen to the baby come out defective, physical effects, mental defects, something like that. I'm gonna tell you a quick story of mine. So it was a little situationship I had when I was living in Washington. It was with this 51-year-old very beautiful woman. Oh my God. This is honest to God, it didn't end bad. This was a situation, one of the situationships that actually, my only situationship that actually ended peaceful. Still communicate to the woman to this day, and I ain't gonna lie, I've always been one of him, but I say this thing was bad to be 51, this thing was bad to be 51. And let me tell y'all, the sex was hitting. I ain't gonna lie to that boy. It was hitting, boy. It was, like I said, it was so good. I ain't gonna lie, I cried during it. But what killed me was like one night we had finished doing what we doing, what grown people do. We grown. She turned to me and said this, and I'll never get it. She said, I just want to let you know I'm not trying to have any more kids. So, I looked like Charlie Brown, like looking into the camera like, I'm like, where that come from? You don't want to, well, I know you young and y'all want to have kids. I said, baby, let me tell you something. I'm from the old school. I'm black. We don't have sex to procreate. We have sex for pleasure. I know I have sex for pleasure. I said, now if a baby come out of it, that's a uh-oh. All my babies gonna be uh-oh baby. So if a baby come out of it, then like May said, it is what it is. That's all it is. It ain't no, I'm trying to get you pregnant, like they talk about on TV, we're trying to get pregnant. No, I was trying to get mine. And just so happened you called me a couple weeks or a month later, like, look, my friend didn't come visit me this month. So looks like you don't need to make no career changes no time soon, because we need guaranteed money. And I ain't never and I told her, I said another thing, baby, you over 51. I don't need to be, you're gonna be about 70 by the time that baby, born. So I don't need everybody to be at graduation. You got all them grays in your hair and them bifocals on, and everybody's like, oh, his grandmama looks like she showed love him. Like, that's his mom. Like, ooh, boy, what was you thinking? Boy, you was out there robbing. Ooh, boy, now you get worms like that. I don't understand where that term get worms come from, but everybody heard that. For you mess with somebody older than you get worms. And so that just, like I said, that was one reason. Then two, I told her, I said, we don't need all that. Like, I ain't trying to deal with none of that stuff there. Like, no, buddy. Can't be sitting there changing your diaper and the baby's diaper. That's too much. But this I ain't gonna lie, this whole situation with the brat and her wife, I didn't know this about her wife. I didn't know her wife already had 3 kids before she had this one with the brat. And this let me know right now, these women just confused. Ain't none of them really gay. Cause like, I'm gonna tell y'all a shocker that I found out about the brat. Cause even when I was little, I thought the brat was gay. Just straight up. I ain't know she, I guess, bi. Cause like everybody know, like back in the late 90s, early 2000s, she had a thing going with Allen Iverson, and that man had her in a chokehold. Like the way she talked about Allen Iverson, but that man must have had that black magic down his pants, cause she talk about him like as if he's the end all be all. So that let me know these two just confused. They ain't really gay like they want to be, which bring up the topic about Ari Lennox. I wasn't gonna talk about. I'm talking about Ari Lennox. Ari Lennox said that she had messed around with a woman earlier in this year, and even she was confused. Said she just didn't understand women. Well, it sounded to me like y'all ready to settle down, but y'all done went out there, had all your fun, they played around, just jumped from man to man to man, and now you want to settle down. Men don't want to settle down with you, so it's like, no. Now y'all gotta, I'm gay. Like, look, like I've always said this. A woman don't like penis for 20, 30 something years. Then all of a sudden now she like vagina. So, all that, I just like spending all your ass want to settle down with a man. And one, either you got a reputation for being the street, or two, your ass just crazy as hell and ain't no man finna put up with that. So now you gotta, I've always liked women. Yeah, nah, that's the tale as old as time is Beauty and the Beast. And another reason why I really just, I remember being pissed off about this whole pregnancy with the brat and her wife Judy, because I remember around about this time when they was looking for a donor, a sperm donor. They said they didn't want anybody who was black to give sperm to, to fertilize for their baby, which had me 38 hot. If you from the South, you know what that means. 38 hot. That means you pissed off beyond the highest level of festivity, as the late great Robin Harris used to say. Or, like, I'm just gonna keep it funky for y'all. It's country, but you understand, I was hotter than fish grease when I heard that, because that shows like some self-hatred and all that. I ain't trying to hear you want your baby to have good hair, because there's a bunch of black people out here with good hair, but that's a whole nother topic for another day about what constitutes good hair, what constitutes bad hair. But yeah, I really didn't like them saying that. So like I said, though they whole pregnancy, marriage, whatever, them two got away, and I really make me mad because the Brat is actually one of my favorite rappers because I think she like, if not the toughest female MC, one of the toughest female MCs. And if you listen to her first album, Functified, she pretty much was like one of the first ladies, or prominent ladies, to hold it down. And my favorite subgenre of hip hop was your G-Funk. So this is a sad day. I just hope the Brat can bounce back, and prayers go out to you and your, well, I can't say your wife, but one of my friends was being funny on Facebook. This is what this fool said. This fool said, well, at least we know that the mother gonna get custody of the baby. I was like, boy, ooh, people can be so ignorant and evil and hilarious at the same time. Now, we was talking about the situation with like color and everything. Another female rap legend, she kind of like got people raising their eyebrows. I ain't gonna say she in a hot seat, but got people raising their eyebrows for something she said. Y'all know Eve, Rough Rider Eve, EVE, whose name was Shelly on the TV show, and even to this day, black people like, well, if she named Eve, why she named the woman on the show Shelly? She said in a recent interview with Vibe Vixen that she does not want her kids to see color. She wants them to be colorblind. Now, I get where she's coming from with that, but we live in the real world, and that's just not how that's gonna happen. Because her kids, she has a child already in this mixed race because she's married to a white British millionaire named Maximilian Cooper. So I understand what she's saying, but that's not how the world gonna work. It don't see like that. Now, in the perfect world, nobody should see color, but we live in a world where color is dominant and people will see color. So, like, you kind of sheltering your child from the realities of the world, that is gonna like really confuse them when racism does hit them in the face. They're gonna kind of be like, y'all remember that old episode from the first season of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when Will and Carter landed in jail because they thought that the cops thought that they had stole a car, and then Carter, even to the end of the episode, he couldn't understand and fathom that he had been racially profiled, even after Will tried to tell it to him in the last scene. Like, bro, we were racially profiled. And that's pretty much what you're going to have that happen. And like I said, you run into that a lot. Like, it's like the farther west you go in America, the more you'll run into that. Because like I said, I go on the West Coast, like I said, especially Southern California, and you will see it's a lot of incidences where racism is being exhibited, that a lot of like African Americans out there, if they not raised in the inner city, they won't get like, I know, like prime example, like I remember, I think in the first episode I told y'all about me going to Disneyland in 2023, late summer 2023, with my girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend, and her sisters, and we went out there. So we had an incident out there because like my ex-girlfriend, for some reason, I had to point out a lot of like sort of racist moments that would happen when we were together, because she just didn't see that, because she kind of grew up in a mixed race environment, in Southern California. So I had to like point out stuff. But this one is one that stays with me a lot. So we were in Disneyland. We was in the California Adventure side of Disneyland, which I think was a waste of taxpayers' money. They could have kept that to themselves and left that to parking lot. But I think I expressed that already. So we're on this ride. It's called Soaring. It's kind of like it's like almost like a motion ride, theater ride, and it like takes you in the air over, like, it used to be different parts of California, but now they changed to different parts of the world. And like they'll even like incorporate, like you can feel like the breeze of wherever you're going. Like for instance, we was over Fuji, like you could smell like the island scents, and we was over Africa, you could smell like the dirt. But anyway, so it's like in the part of California Adventure that's like almost like look like a air base or an airfield, like for like research flying and all. And everybody who know me, I like aviation. I love aviation as a little boy. One of the longest running dreams I had was to be a fighter pilot. Like, I just love Top Gun. I love Will Smith's character in Independence Day. You know, I love the Tuskegee Air movie that came out in 1995 with Lawrence Fishburne and Cuba Gooding Jr. So I'm liking the thing. So we're waiting in line. I'll never forget we're waiting in line to get on the ride. It's like a 45-minute wait to get in line, which I never understood this about rides at the amusement park. It takes you longer to get on the ride than to actually enjoy the ride. Because the ride is you might be in the line for like an hour, 2 hours, and the ride only lasts about 3 to 5 minutes. Almost sounds like a teenager trying to have sex for the first time, don't it? You spend all that time preparing or trying to get it, and then by the time you get it, it's over just like that. So while we're in line, you know, my ex and her sisters, they're having a conversation. My ex has a very boisterous laugh. Actually, she was kind of, her voice kind of carries a little bit. So while we're sitting there waiting to get on the ride, I'm noticing there's a gentleman of Caucasian, you know, descent. He's looking over at her, and I noticed, like, I was on my phone and I kind of looked at him, look over there, and he looked like he had a look of disdain on his face. So I kind of looked at him, and I didn't think nothing of it the first time he did. And the second time she laughed, he looked over and he kind of like gave it a once over a little bit, real subtly. So by this time I kind of lowered my phone, and I kind of like, what's going on here? So a few minutes go by, she laughed again very boisterously, and then he kind of looked over there. He let out one of them exasperated sighs, and I know what that sigh is like. And I know what that sigh is. It's like they're hoping they don't have to say something, but then they're gonna say something. So then by this time, when he does that, I put my phone in my back pocket. It's time to rock and roll. So I put my phone in my back pocket, and now my eyes are locked on him. But he's so consumed with his prejudice, he don't even notice that my eyes are locked on him. He locked on her, I'm locked on him. So a couple more minutes go by, someone said, she kind of laughed once again. And then he looked like he was preparing to say something. So at this time, I grab her hand. I kind of step in front of her. My body is completely facing him at this time. And I look him dead in the face and then give him the up and down, the once over. And then is when he kind of like, oh, snap. And that basically, the look I shot him was like, I know what you trying to do, and you're more than welcome to do it. But buddy boy, please be prepared with what the fuck follows. Because it's going to be some blowback from this. So please be prepared for it. So like Bodie said on that episode of The Wire when he secured the pit in season 1, you do what you feel, but finish what you start. Because I'm sure who's going to finish it. So then a few minutes go by. I'm looking at a plane. I'm explaining to my girl what the plane was on the wall. And he noticed, he was like, oh, you know a lot about aviation. You know, now you're trying to be my friend and everything. So then when he did that, he tried to be my friend and gave me that look like, hey, we cool, bro, and all that. And I looked at him for about like 10 seconds. Just gave him like the hardest glare for about 10 seconds. I rolled my eyes and I looked off, and that was the end of that. She was no wise until like we talked about something a couple of days after that. And then she got upset and said, you just like how you did in Disneyland when you whooped the whoop. And I told her, I said, you didn't realize that man didn't want to be by you. Well, why didn't he want to be by me? For obvious reasons. And then when I explained it to her, she was like, oh yeah, so doing that is like not, yeah, it'd be nice if we can live in a world that doesn't see color, but we don't. So Eve, I understand what you want to do, ma'am, but that's just not the world we live in. And it's sad. It's sad that it's not the world we live in, but like that song by Tupac said, that's just the way it is. Melissa Ford has once again, you know, for a woman as fine as Melissa Ford, this woman keeps up bullshit. I swear to God. Ooh, Lord, she's a prime example of, for every beautiful woman out there in the world, there's a man somewhere in the corner world sick of her bullshit. So in a recent episode of Joe Budden podcast, because for those y'all don't know if y'all in the West, she's one of the panelists on his show. She took a shot at Steph Curry, which I didn't understand what was the point of that. It's like, damn, it's like the man just won a gold medal at the Olympics. Why are you taking a shot at him? This is what she said. I don't know how this came about, because like, but they were talking, and then she started talking about Steph Curry. She said he doesn't really have sex appeal like that. And I'm like, where did that come from? She said she doesn't have sex appeal like that. She's like, if he walked into a bar and then Boris Kojo walked into a bar, all the men would go flocking towards Steph, and all the women will flock towards Boris, because Boris Kojo just got it like that. First of all, I am so sick of that narrative from women. It's like, because we want to see a good brother win, that we want to be with him or something. Like, no, we just like seeing a brother who ain't did it the wrong way win. That's all it is. Ain't nobody gonna flock to Steph Curry like that. Everybody like, oh snap, that's Steph. What's happening, bro? And keep it pushing. And she said that a lot of women would like go to Boris Kojo. For those of y'all know who Boris Kojo is, if y'all ever seen he's actress Nicole Ari Parker's husband. For though y'all seen him, because I remember I had explained it and asked a couple women like, who was that? When I told them he was the guy that took Sanaa Lathan's character Monica to the prom on Love Basketball, like, oh, him. So that proved her theory wrong, because like Joe Budden actually said this, and he brought up a good point. He said, you acting like women checking for Boris Kojo. Like, they said any woman under 25 don't even know the hell Boris Kojo is. I can show them a move and they be like, who is that? You know what I'm saying? See, that's what she lost when she said all women, like black women, will be checked. That's what she lost her argument to me, because nothing against Boris Kojo. Like, the man is definitely a good looking man, handsome man. Like I said, you gotta have some juice. He bagged Nicole Ari Parker and has been married to her for like 20 years. But I'm not hearing the average black woman nowadays bring up Boris Kojo. Now, I will be honest, if Melissa Ford would have said Idris Elba, Lance Gross, Method Man, probably Denzel Washington for the older sisters, even Marlon Wayans. Women love Marlon Wayans. They say he goofy as hell, but women love Marlon Wayans. Or if she would have mentioned Damson Idris, that's Franklin from Snowfall, or Kofi Sorbo. That's the dude that played Ralph Angel on Queen Sugar, and it was also Jada's little boy toy on Girls Trip, the movie Girls Trip. If they would have said any one of them, she would have had it. Because I hear women talk about those brothers all the time. But she lost credibility when she said Boris Kojo. What I peeped from what her saying, just throwing Boris Kojo out there, she want Boris for herself. That was a subliminal shot she took at Boris. So, like, I'm gonna say this, Nicole Ari Parker, if you anywhere at any function with your husband and Melissa Ford is right, you better stay tight. You better stick on that man like glue, because I tell you, that woman probably be after your husband in a heartbeat, because that clearly was just a subliminal shot she took. Now we're moving on to like movies. I know I talked about a lot of TV shows, a lot of movies. So it's one movie that they have that's in an uproar right now, and that's Deliverance. It's on Netflix. I don't have a review for that, because I'm not going to give a review for that, because it's a movie by Lee Daniels, and I do not support anything Lee Daniels does, because the man sells black trauma. That's all he does, is sell black trauma. He's been selling black trauma ever since I seen the movie Precious. Like, I don't even know what was the purpose of making the movie Precious. I saw Precious my senior year of college, and I never forget this, because me and my friends were drinking. We was like drinking, which is at the house. We just day drink. We weren't planning on going nowhere. We was broke. We had a bottle. We were drinking, and we watched Precious. And then after that, we watched For Color Girls. I don't know why in the hell we decided to watch them two movies back to back. All I know is, by the end of the day, after watching both of those movies, I wanted to put a bullet in my fucking head. Like, oh my God. I've always told people, if I was struggling with suicidal ideations and I saw both of those movies, I'd end it. That'd be the benediction. Good night. It's over. Because those movies were like, now For Color Girls, it did have like a silver lining toward the end of it, but Precious, there was no silver lining in that movie whatsoever. And One reason I'm really not going to watch Deliverance is because a statement that Lee Daniels made about one of his actresses. So he got acting legend Glenn Close in there. You know, y'all know her from Fatal Attraction. Y'all know it's Cruella de Vil in the live action Disney version of 101 Dalmatians. And for those, a lot of people don't know this. If you ever seen the movie Hook with Robin Williams and Dustin Hoffman in 1991, the guy they threw in the box that betted against Hook bringing Pan back to Never Never Land, that was Glenn Close in disguise. She was disguised as a male pirate. Like Steven Spielberg finds she did a favor for him anyway. Yeah. But they got her playing, you know, like the white chick in the hood, you know, the white ratchet chick that, and I don't like that, because so Lee Daniels said something that really pissed me off. He said that her character was the fabric of the black community. That is a slap in the face to black women everywhere. That's a slap in the face to Harriet Tubman. That's a slap in the face to Sojourner Truth. That's a slap in the face to Ida B. Wells. That's a slap in the face to Angela Davis. That's a slap in the face to Rosa Parks. That's a slap in the face to Coretta Scott King. That's a slap in the face to Dr. Mae Jemison, the first black female astronaut to go into space. That's a slap in the face to Florence Griffin Joyner. That's a slap in the face to Jackie Joyner Kersey. That's a slap in the face to Dominique Dawes. That's a slap in the face to Dawn Staley. And the list of sisters go on. That is a slap in the face saying that woman is the fabric of the black community. No, that is a character of the black community. I'm gonna be honest, I don't like them. I don't like them being characters of our women, you know, loud and bitch and all that with the baby hairs and all. No, I can't stand no white woman like that. The only white woman I can say that I like, because this one was a ride or die, was Rachel Dolezal. And I ain't gonna lie, if you look at Rachel Dolezal, you know, she kind of, I thought she was light skinned. But other than her, and even her, like because she started going a little overboard. Yeah, that is a blatant, excuse me, fuck you to the black women who have built our community and society up. I just did not like this, so I will not be watching that movie at all. Not that I was gonna watch it, but it's like evidence this man has a vendetta against straight black men and straight black women. So I don't know. I won't support nothing that. Spell it the way he ended the story and all kind of people. No, I ain't supporting that. Now, before I get out of here, I'm going to. So later yesterday, like I told y'all, I decided to go see Beetlejuice. I was not disappointed in the movie Beetlejuice. That was a good movie. It's not really doing good at the box office right now because they had $100 million budget, but it only took in like 41 mil. That means it's like it ain't even made half to say it's losing. But I thought it was a good movie. I thought, you know, it being a sequel 35 years later, I thought it was great. Like, good to see Winona Ryder doing something, because, you know, I remember she fell on hard times like late 90s, early 2000s. She had a little bit roles, but she came back and bodied Lydia Dietz. I love the way she did that. What she was doing in the film kind of sounds like something Lydia would be doing. Like she hosted like a paranormal, like a TV version of Paranormal Activity. That seems like something Lydia would be doing in today's society. I thought it should have been a podcast with it being not, but she had a TV show. But still, Catherine O'Hara. For those of y'all who don't know who that is, that's the woman who played her stepmom Delia, who we know best as Kevin McAllister's negligent and should have had CPS call on her ass mama from Home Alone. She is funny, like, so in the first movie she was funny, but she like really brought her comedic chops, which I've known she did that ever since I seen her on Curb Your Enthusiasm on HBO. Like, yeah, so I'm glad they gave her more. They let her do more and show how funny she is. Like that is one hilarious lady. Gina Ortega. I think this young lady has found her niche for playing the golf girl, because she played Winona Ryder's character, Lydia Dietz's daughter, Astrid, and it was like real believable. Like first she did Christina Ricci justice playing Wednesday Addams, and now she held her own with Winona Ryder as her daughter in this movie. Think she did a real good job. And also what I really liked about it, we got to see a little bit more of Beetlejuice's backstory in here. Like, we really understood. We saw what Beetlejuice did for a living. Like, not for a living, did in the living world. But he did in the living world for a living because he said what he did. And even he was, this one spoiler, I'm gonna say, he was actually married. Somebody actually married Beetlejuice. Like, he was legit married in the living world. And he goes into detail and tells you all about that. But I'm gonna say this: for Beetlejuice to look how he looked, his old lady, she was a baddie, man. She was a baddie. So Beetlejuice wasn't just blowing smoke. Beetlejuice got that game for you. And speaking of Beetlejuice, the man that played him, big ups to the OG Michael Keaton. My man is 73 years old and ain't missing a step. First, it was him reprising his role as Batman, and now he reprised his role as Beetlejuice. And it was like, if Beetlejuice came out like 88, 89, pretty much watch him on there, you're looking like you're looking at him in 90, 91, 92. Just like a couple, three years later. Now the ending was kind of like gave a WTF moment, like, okay, what's going on? But it kind of like, so here's the thing about me and in Beetlejuice. So I saw the cartoon first and then saw the movie, because I'm born in 89, the movie came out in 88. So of course I saw the cartoon on Fox Kids in the 90s and then went back and watched it later on. So I was kind of like, Beetlejuice is bad and don't like little, but it kind of like, the way the movie ends, it's like a dynamic that Lydia and Beetlejuice had in the cartoon. Like, you know how even though they were friends, like, she at times he would rub Lydia the wrong way and then she'd banish him off into where it was called the Netherworld in the cartoon, but then there it's like the land, it's like the land of the dead in the movie. So they kind of like gave a subtle nod to that in the end. Y'all don't see what I'm talking about. Now, even though Beetlejuice was a great movie, there was some stuff about this movie that just didn't sit right with me, and I'm gonna go and tell you what they were. The first one that just didn't sit right with me, if y'all paid attention, y'all know the plot to Beetlejuice. It was this couple. Their name was Adam and Barbara Maitland. They were played respectively by Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis. They weren't in there. If you saw in the, you saw in the trailer and you looked it up online, they weren't in there. Which I kind of was like, okay, I don't understand. I mean, I know both of them. They busy. They ready to move on from Beetlejuice. But the explanation they gave in the movie didn't make sense, because it's like that was their whole purpose for wanting to be in this house and wanting the deets out. So and it was just like one little quick second when they explained, because I hate when movies do that. You have an absence of a character, like, so we just gonna act like this person exists, and they like, hey, what happened to this? And it's like, oh, that. I'm like, so the big piece of the plot or the plot from the movie before, they just get a 30-second blurb and you move on as if that happened. But what they said, it just didn't make sense. So when y'all see it, y'all know what I'm talking about. And then they had a couple subplots or something they kind of rushed. Like, it was like, so Astrid, played by Jenna Ortega, she meets a boy in there, and his storyline was kind of rushed, even though I kind of saw his story from like a mile away for the most part. I was like, yeah, there's something up with this story. I saw that storyline coming from a mile away, and there was another story. I'm definitely not going to tell y'all about that, because that's definitely show enough spoiler, and I'm not going to do it. But just the way they showed that, and then had the one little scene, and then they moved on. I'm like, okay, well, that should have been bigger than what it was. But it was like how small it was. It didn't like really like turn you off from the movie. But yeah, they had too many like little small stories they were trying to force. Now the last one, this really bothered me, because you can't think of like the first Beetlejuice without thinking of this song. And they did a rendition of the late great Halle Belafonte's The Banana Boat song, Adeo as it's called, and they whitewashed the hell out of it. So, mini spoiler alert, one of the characters in that died. I don't know how that's spoiler alert. It's Beetlejuice. It deals with deaf people. Of course somebody's gonna die. They're singing at that character's funeral, and they got look like a Catholic church children's choir, and they're singing Deo, and they go Deo, Deo, daylight come and me want to go home. I'm like, no, God, no. Harry Belafonte did not die for that. No, I was like, no, that was like a personal reason. But other than that, I give Beetlejuice, I give it a solid 8 out of 10. I give it a strong 8, soft 9. Ain't get no complaints, but I think got rewatchability to it. Anyway, that's been my time coming right back on the porch with y'all this weekend. That's 2 in a row, but I did that not only did I also wanted to get 10 episodes right away. So I got 10. I'm in the books for 10. We're going to keep building. Ain't where I wanted to be, but we're going to get there. You know, Rome wasn't built overnight. Y'all know the information. Find me on Facebook. It's my name. You find me on Instagram, PDMac10, PETYMAC10. Same thing on TikTok, except for the 10 is 89. Y'all be cool, stay calm, and get paid. Holla at y'all.